so let's take this example of diabetes. I understand hypnosis helps with changing the belief system so the person will not reach for the cake.
Yes.
Can hypnosis help the person actually get rid of diabetes?
That's a very good question. we are incredibly powerful as human beings, and we are equipped with whatever it is that we need for our own healing. The question is, what do you believe? Because your beliefs will drive your behavior. You certainly, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, and other people may differ in this, but you certainly can help yourself and can heal yourself through different modalities from all kinds of different issues. And diabetes, it just depends, because type 1 diabetes, which is what kids get when their autoimmune condition kills off their cells that produce insulin, pancreatic cells. So you can, when you use hypnosis with those children, and studies have shown that actually their requirement for insulin decreases dramatically. The full healing, I am not aware that through hypnosis that is possible for type 1 diabetes. However, type 2 diabetes, there have been multiple cases where people had healed themselves through hypnosis, but also using hypnosis as a modality to help them align with what it is that they need to do as far as exercise, as far as changes in what it is that they eat, as far as their level of happiness, their level of joy, as far as just aligning and understanding what it is that you need for yourself, and believing that you can do this for yourself and you're worthy of doing this for yourself. And yes, absolutely, you can heal yourself from diabetes, type 2 diabetes, using hypnosis as a modality to guide you and empower you to make these changes in your life. Because certainly, especially in early stages, diabetes, the first recommendation, even through the medical society, is a dietary and dietary changes and physical exercise and so on. So I would say that hypnosis can propel yourself, your body to heal in miraculous ways, for sure. Absolutely.
Okay. So let's take my example. I came to you a little more than a year ago. And I was not even yet diagnosed with breast cancer, but I was going through biopsies, and I was very scared and terrified of those procedures. So why don't you tell how you worked with me, like just as an example, so people know
Absolutely.
how you work with like condition like that.
Okay, absolutely. So I think it's a really good example, and I'm really happy that you brought this up, Paula, because you came to me because you were scared. And you were scared because you were scared of the procedure, and you were scared of physical pain, right? And the whole idea, I mean, you were faced with a life-changing condition which had caused you to feel uncertain, right? Uncertain about the future, uncertain about the procedure, what is it going to be like? You've never been faced with that. And so I think that ultimately what happened was I taught you using hypnosis to become aware of your own strength, and to become aware that you can feel okay and things will be okay. So basically, I think what happened, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that you've learned to trust yourself and to have faith that you can go through this procedure, and you can rely on yourself, even though this was something that you've never done before, but you had become much more comfortable after the sessions here, and also using some of the recording that I've made, and I think that you were able to replace fear with faith, and trust that things were going to okay. And correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think from what I recall, this is what happened. And we can talk about details of what exactly happened as we were doing this together, but I think that ultimately the idea was for you to face your fears, being in a much more comfortable place.
Right. So I think when I came to you, I was programmed to know that there will be a painful, very painful procedure. I was scared of needles. That was a scare, like even for blood test draw. And you spend some time understanding the fears. You don't go just into hypnosis, right? We had a conversation and you understood what my fears were, and then you designed the script, which I followed, and then the recording that I listened, and that basically reprogrammed my mind. I will be very truthful. There were 2 biopsies. The first one, I was terrified. Even with the hypnosis, I was so scared. I was trying to go through the hypnosis. I don't think it worked the first time. My experience was the first biopsy. My second biopsy was totally different, because it also takes a little bit of time to learn how to do it and to get into that sort of state.
Yes.
So my recommendation for anybody going through anything like this, don't just think it's a one-time fix. It's how many
sessions usually? So it depends. I would say I recommend 4 to 6 sessions, because the whole idea is it takes time to have these beliefs kind of like settled in our subconscious mind, and so it takes time to get rid of them. So and it takes practice and repetition. And yes, the sessions that you get here or anywhere for that matter will propel you towards change, right? It's just so. We use hypnosis as a shortcut to a change, right? But still, you need to do your daily exercise and practice, whether it's listening to an audio that I create, or just writing whatever it is that you need to write. But every day you need to practice the skills. You need to practice self-hypnosis, and you need to practice the skills, which takes about 5 to 10 minutes, but it's a daily practice. It's resetting your mind, changing your mind. It takes time. And it takes dedication and practice and repetition. So yes, I would say probably majority of adults need about 6 sessions, kids anywhere between 3 to 4. But even just after 1 session, you can already feel much more of a comfort with whatever it is that you can face, I think, from what I'm seeing and from my own personal experience with hypnosis. So yeah.
Okay.